Hey guys, G Cannon here, back with another Pokemon Unite video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the fundamentals of playing a ranged attacker, and in this video I'm going to be using Cinderace as my example. Ultimately, you have two objectives as a ranged attacker or DPS Pokemon. The first one is stay alive, i.e. don't die, i.e. don't go back to the base with a death timer. And the second is do as much damage as possible. I cannot stress enough how important the first objective is. Again, reminder, stay alive. Can't do damage if you're dead. And I'm going to be giving you the tools to use in practice to stay alive. So the core fundamentals in this video really apply to any range attacker, whether that be Ninetales, Pikachu, don't play Pikachu, Greninja, or Cinderace. I just happen to prefer Cinderace, and I've been playing lots of Cinderace, but again, this applies to any range attacker. And actually, this does apply to Blastoise and the other kind of defenders and all-arounders who are ranged as well, but that's a different talk for a different day. But again, these apply to anyone who attacks with range. So I'm going to be covering 4 aspects of playing a range character that I think are super important when playing any range character in Pokemon Unite. The first thing is going to be your attack range, also what I like to call now is my safety circle. The second thing is going to be your attack patterns. Third thing is going to be attack moving and kiting. And last but not least, we're going to wrap it all up together, and it's going to be called positioning. So in this video, I'm going to just be in the practice tool of Cinderace. I'm going to be going over these 4 fundamentals. Now, it's going to be a brief guide. However, the information that's packed into this video is very applicable to any game and anything you're doing, so make sure to practice these whenever you can. And as always, please drop a like. Let me know what you think about this video. If you find these guides useful and want more, let me know. Today's goals for like is 5, so let's get that thumb going, hey?
Alright, so to begin our video, we're going to talk about the attack circle and the attack range of a ranged attacker. As we can see here, ranged attackers have a big range, which is why they're called ranged attackers. And this circle does a couple things for us. One, it shows the max range of our auto attack or basic attack. I'll probably refer to it as auto attack throughout these videos. The second thing that I like to kind of see it as is my safety circle. So we can see how far I am here attacking the substitute. I still have about right there, and I'll still attack it. This circle, essentially, if anything comes inside the circle, there's a high possibility of it killing us. So not only is it used to gauge how far you can attack, but I like to see it as how safe am I right now? Is there anything inside my circle? If there is, then I'm probably in danger of dying. So one of the biggest things as a ranged attacker is you need to keep your target at your max range for 2 reasons. 1, you can still hit them, and 2, for safety. And so by doing this, you can ultimately deliver as much damage as possible while staying safe, and by not having anything in your circle, you're safe. There's a lot of Pokemon, like let's think of Blastoise and Mamoswine, who pretty much their dashes are about this long. Lucario's engage is about this long. So if anything is inside our circle, you can consider yourself dead. Because all it takes is 1 or 2 CC dashes on you, and then you're pretty much dead because, well, we're a squishy ranged Pokemon. So our job as a ranged attacker is to play at our max range by keeping our target at the edge of our circle to deal damage and to keep ourselves safe. The next thing I'd like to point out is, because again, we are attack Pokemon, a ranged attacker, we're a DPS Pokemon, so that means damage per second. So as you can see at the bottom of the substitute there, it actually has the damage per second stat. What damage per second means is how much damage can you do in 1 second. So, by staying at our max range and staying alive, we can elongate our seconds or increase how long we're alive, thus increasing our DPS. But also, doing as much damage and being as efficient as possible also increases our damage per second. So with Cinderace specifically here, we have 1 attack, 2 attack, and a boosted attack. What we really want to try and do is we want to play with his passive. If you see here, whenever we cast an ability, it automatically turns his attack to a boosted attack. So what we're going to do our best to do is we're going to try and do auto attack, boosted attack, cast an ability, boosted attack, cast an ability, boosted attack. That's going to be one of our highest DPS combos that we can muster, and then it'll allow us to play on our cooldown. So see again, attack, boosted attack, ability, boosted attack, ability, boosted attack. Then by the time we get the second boosted attack off, 1, 2, 3, our ability should be back on cooldown. And I know in the heat of the moment, it's very hard to keep track of that. But by doing this, oops, I missed it there. It'll be our best chance of doing as much damage per second. As we can see, the DPS stat there's kind of staying up. Right, so we're weaving in these abilities between our boosted attacks. If we do 1, 2, ability, that's inefficient and it's not going to be one of our highest damage outputs. So you really want to be diligent in doing attack, boosted attack, ability, boosted attack, ability, boosted attack. Another thing too, right before you engage in a fight, if you know you're coming up and you're about to fight, I run X attack to increase my DPS. Just because it's a huge stat increase and I know that I can stay safe by playing at my max range. So we pop X attack, do here, do our combo. And you can already see that my DPS has increased drastically from the X attack. And so it's a good thing to keep in mind that you know you're about to fight, pop the X attack, and then start unleashing your combo as best as possible. Don't wait to use it while you're in the fight. If you know you're about to fight, just get it going. And it has a 40-second cooldown, so it should be up fairly quick, especially if you're about to fight Dreadnought, or if you're in lane kind of deal. So don't worry about the cooldown, and just get it popped before the fight. The next thing I want to show here is actually one of the most important fundamentals as a, I prefer to as ADC, but as a hyper carry ranged attacker. And that's attack moving and kind of leads into kiting. Oh, here comes Venusaur. So let's see if I can do it here. Oh, he's a higher level than me. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, now that we have that out of the way, you never want to stand still. So A, we're playing at our max range, but whenever we're in a fight, we always want to be moving sideways. This makes you a harder target to kill, and then if a target starts moving away from you, you can close the gap on them. So, kind of when I was trying to do there when Venusaur came in, I stood here, Venusaur came in, and then I started moving this way, move attack, move attack, move attack, until he ultied me and he was 3 levels higher than me and I just dipped. But you always want to be moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And a good pattern that I like to do is attack, attack, boosted attack ability, go the other way. 1, 2, 3, this way, then we go back the other way. We just kind of work our way in semicircles. That way you're not predictable if someone's actually paying attention to your movement. Always attack, move, attack, move, attack, move, attack, move. Not a hard thing to do, as you can see, I guess by where my thumbs are moving the joystick. I'm just moving sideways as I'm moving, and I'm keeping at max range as best as possible. So yeah, you never want to get, especially if someone's inside your circle, like right now the substitute is inside my safety circle, go back to max range, and then move attack, move attack, move attack, move attack. If anyone's inside your circle, you don't want to attack them because it's going to slow you down in the animation, and they can get on you. So you want to get away from them, and then attack. That's kind of what kiting. So kiting is keeping at max distance as you move and keep yourself safe as an enemy is trying to fight you or as you're moving around in a team fight. The last major component that I want to go over as playing these ranged characters is kind of putting everything together and referring to it just as positioning. So one main thing I'm going to show you here, especially in the importance of a Dreadnought fight, is your positioning. Let's pretend Dreadnought has spawned and we're trying to posture for position, trying to fight, whatever. The biggest thing as a ranged squishy attacker is you need to identify the threats. So you need to know who's on the other team, who's their CC, who's their damage, and you need to stay the heck away from them and keep them outside of your safety circle. Second thing is you want to stay away from these choke points. Ooh, I don't like that color. From the choke points here, and pretty much and then pretty much anywhere over here. The main reason being that if there's a Blastoise or a Slowbro or a Snorlax or anyone with CC, you don't have anywhere to move in here, and you're just going to get blasted with CC and die. What I like to do is I like to stay in the open space over here, where we have also choices. Choke points remove our choices. I have choices that I can move this way, I can move this way, I can move into Dreadnought, and I can move backwards. So you need to identify your spacing, and you have to know where your safe space is going to be. So that if Dreadnought and people are here, and I'm trying to keep max range, I'm trying to move, and I'm trying to kite, I have all this space to work with. The second thing, and it's kind of hard to show without teammates, is you always want to keep people and things in front of you. Let's pretend Peppa Pig here is, I don't know, let's say he's Lucario. So Lucario's right here, and he's kind of in the choke point. We never want to be in front of him or even on his butt. We always want to stay between. We want someone on our team between the enemy and ourselves. This can also work with walls and objects and the neutral Pokemon. So again, with this nice spot here, as you can see, we have a nice wall right here. That's a big wall. Oh yeah. Not much can get through the wall, and characters can't get through the wall. Another thing is Dreadnought, now that he's spawned. When you keep Dreadnought between you and the enemy, if no one's attacked him yet and you give him a quick boop, Dreadnought will create a knock-up, and if any of the enemy teams around him, he will CC the enemy team and start doing damage on him. So if you keep Dreadnought between you and the enemy, the wall between you and the enemy, and the rest of your team between you and the enemy, you now have the ability to just stand back and free fire on anyone who comes up in front of you. And your job is to damage one person as much as you can with as much damage per second. So I'll get into some examples of it later, but that's pretty much what you want to do. Keep something between you and the enemy. If Dreadnought is my enemy right now, I have my wall right here. He's there, and I can move around. I guess Dreadnought's too far, but keep things between you and the enemy. And then another key thing about the spacing is I like to take Flame Charge for this reason, is I get a jail free card. I get to move. So I don't ever use Flame Charge until someone gets inside my circle. Someone gets inside my circle, I dash away from them. So you want to keep those tools ready for you, or ready to use when you need them. You don't want to really waste them. Oh, he's inside my circle. Oh, he's running away. That's fine. Keep the mobility tools when you need them. Keep your space where you need it. Oh, I'm getting too close to Dreadnought. The enemy's coming to me. Space backwards. Now I'm back in my space and I have places to move.
So that just about covers up the fundamentals of playing a ranged character in Pokemon Unite. Again, let me know what you think. Everything here is applicable to any game and any situation you're in, so try and practice them even one thing at a time, then eventually it's all going to start coming together. Next video, I'll bring in examples of some more gameplay with some VOD reviews of myself and probably a buddy of mine, and then we'll look at the specific examples instead of just the core fundamentals in the practice tool. Thanks for tuning in.